My name's Caleb Thornburg, and my favorite psalm is Psalm 19. And it's been a psalm that's kind of been with me since probably about like 6th grade or so. And it's really my favorite because it was the first meaningful chunk of scripture that I ever memorized. There was a chunk of time where I kind of forgot about it, and then I think it was probably 10 years ago. It was after my family had a pretty bad house fire, and one of my friends was kind of discipling me a little bit and kind of helping me process through some of that, and he showed me Psalm 19 verse 14, which has become my favorite verse, and that's, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer." And I was like, I know that verse from somewhere, and then I looked and I was like, oh, that's part of that psalm I memorized like years ago. It just kind of helped me sort of kind of focus my mind and not dwell on kind of all the kind of madness that was going on at home, just with all the fallout of all that. And it's a verse that I've got it on a sticky note at my desk, like it's to the right where I always like am looking, so I can remember that. I pray that verse probably on a daily basis, and it's one I try to share with anyone that I know is sort of kind of struggling with that, because my own nature is pretty depressive and cynical. So it kind of helps sort of reorient me if my mental state is sort of tanking that day. But yeah, it's a verse I would encourage anyone to memorize, like regardless of if you're pretty happy most of the time. Like we all have days where we're liable to like sink into depression for X, Y, and Z, but that's a verse that can remind you to really keep your focus on God and not focus on like the things of the world, because those things are ultimately fleeting, and like God is always going to be constant, yesterday, today, and forever. So that's what kind of that verse means to me.